First, I must praise Le Guin. While I haven't read much of her work, there are two short stories that I adore that I've used in my classrooms all the time. The Ones Who Walk Away from a Malus and The White Story. The Ones Who Walk Away from a Malus paints a picture of a utopia that only exists because of the sacrifice of one child who suffers. It's this beautiful story that leaves the reader with much to ponder. Real-world applicability that doesn't have any good answer. The White Story is one I use when I'm teaching point of view. You think you're reading a run-of-the-mill werewolf story, but Le Guin surprises us with the point of view. I won't ruin it for you, but my students are always shocked once they realize it. Because I love her other stories so much, I thought No Time to Spare would be fulfilling, if not intriguing read. The back of the book stated that these are the things that mattered to her late in life. I'm not that old, but I have reached the point of my existence where you let go of things you used to think were so important when your priorities change and you are suddenly aware of your mortality. I thought Le Guin would straighten me out even more and steer me in wiser directions. She did, but not as much as I had hoped. The book is filled with pieces from her blog, so Le Guin fans have probably already read it and then some. Some of the essays, are they essays if it's a blog? I have no idea, but I don't want to call them posts now that they're in a book. Many of these essays do read like a blog, which was a little disappointing to me. If I wanted to read blogs, I would do so, but I'm reading a book. I knew this when I bought the book since it tells me so right on the back, but I guess I had high expectations for Le Guin, which is another recurring theme so far of 2024. I appear to have incredibly high expectations for the books I have read so far this year. I wonder why that is. I was delighted, thanks to Ross Gay's The Book of Delights, I have started referring to more things as delights because the word delights has such a delightful ring to it, to discover that Le Guin loves cats. So I adored the essays about Pard, her new cat, but those didn't necessarily contain any aha moments. These cat pieces definitely had a blog post tone to them, light reading that is simply enjoyable. But those aren't the selections I've chosen to read from today on Booksmart. Le Guin writes a lot about her readers, which is fun to read about considering I'm a reader. Her comments on teachers making students write to authors are funny, but the part I'm going to read is regarding the question of why she writes. It is a profound question when you think about it. Why do people write? I've even pondered that myself when I write. She says some authors do say for money, but she is addressing the question of meaning, and it's good. So here is the answer she has constructed in regards to why do you write? Meaning. This is perhaps the common note, the bane I am seeking. What is the meaning of this book, this event in the book, this story? Tell me what it means. But that's not my job, honey. That's your job. I know at least in part what my story means to me. It may well mean something quite different to you. And what it meant to me when I wrote it in 1970 may not at all be what it meant to me in 1990 or means to me in 2011. What it meant to anybody in 1995 might be quite different from what it will mean in 2022. What it means in Oregon may be incomprehensible in Istanbul, yet in Istanbul it may have a meaning I could never have intended. Meaning in art isn't the same as meaning in science. The meaning of the second law of thermodynamics, so long as the words are understood, isn't changed by who reads it or when or where. The meaning of Huckleberry Finn is. Writing is a risky business. No guarantees. You have to take the chance. I'm happy to take it. I love taking it. So my stuff gets misread, misunderstood, misinterpreted. So what? If it's the real stuff, it will survive almost any abuse other than being ignored, disappeared, not read. What it means to you is what it means to you. If you have trouble deciding what, if anything, it means to you, I can see why you might want to ask me, but please don't. Read reviewers, critics, bloggers, and scholars. They all write about what books mean to them, trying to explain a book to achieve a valid common understanding of it useful to other readers. That's their job, and some of them do it wonderfully well. It's a job I do as a reviewer, and I enjoy it. But my job as a fiction writer is to write fiction, not to review it. Art isn't explanation. Art is what an artist does, not what an artist explains. That one page made the book worth it.